pretty much what routine every day, getting out of the room, going back to work over there. I'll show you, walk you there. It's a great environment inside the wire, and for anybody that never had the opportunity to get posted overseas and have the chance to do this kind of training, mentoring, it's quite a challenge. The good thing about being in Afghanistan is working with other different nations. It's a lot of fun because they have different ideas. We're all here, we're not in competition.
So for goat, this furry goat had an appetite. Early one morning it ate some dynamite.
The downfall about that is that after 3 months, sometimes you have a little bit of problem to bury your neighbor, and that's normal. You get good and bad days. But what's also very positive about being here is like the temperature, the sun is always there, and it's very rare that we have bad weather. When it does happen, it lasts about 15 minutes. I'll take you for a walk at my workplace. Let's go and have a look. Already arrived at my workplace. I'm going to introduce you here, the chaplain. Hut is over here. We have right on my right again, we have the Canada House. And if you look up on my left, this is my place of work. All those B huts are all for Anatech tag.
Morning, sir.
Morning. It's good to have new Canadian officer here.
Yeah,
so,
I heard a lot about you, sir.
So please take a seat.
So you're aware, sir, that I'm a construction engineer, and for me, you're asking me if I understand to mentor a colonel Afghan in logistic, which is not even my field of work. So is that possible? Do you have confidence that I could do that?
Well, I understand your concern. You probably were expecting that you will arrive to mission and will take exactly function what you educated for, and more prepared and have experience, which also good because I think you can support also our coalition forces in this infrastructure things, just to advise, because one head is good but two always better.
Yes.
But in this headquarter really gap shortage in knowledge is now in logistic area. That's why I think if you manage in your air base to take lead of contracts, different kind of services, you will be able to bring a lot of understanding to ANA, how they should sustain their permanent sites, temporary sites, now and for the future. So it's a lot of common infrastructure with contracting logistic function area.
Yeah, if I understand, there's already some issue over there, and I'm sure that there's other coalition members working in a downline probably bring us all these issues. So do you want me as a mentor to be able to understand fully what the issue is, so I could have a good stand and possibly find the source of the problem and give him an understanding and steer him in the right direction for solution? Let him work his solution, or you want me to bring him solution? So this is where I'd like you to tell me where exactly I should stand.
To bring them solution, it's more simple job. It's what we have been doing for a long time here. Just identify problem, work ourselves and bring to ANA a solution. But it's didn't push them to work themselves this process of planning, thinking, and to prepare some staff work or decision brief for commander. What is the best solution could be? They should learn during transition process how to go through this process to get to right solution. So your task is not to bring simply solution, but to go through process to make sure they understand how to get solution, going through planning, assessment, taking into account all circumstances to more maybe type of solution, and to come with the best to commander. This is more important than just to bring them solution.
As I understood, he was all the time concerned about just his own area of headquarters, and now he has to extend to the branch school. So can I use some tools like making some meetings with his downline so he could actually do the leverage and being able to have his own people actually doing the job and not just him managing everything? Can I start doing that and maybe, I don't know, put some PowerPoint? Is that what you're looking for?
Well, good question. You think my personal opinion is that you are now starting from scratch. So it means you come to this G4, and probably I will take my opportunity to introduce to G4 just to make sure that you have at least first contact, which very important. After first contact you can engage once more and more, but what I expect from you, I expect that you build first of all some relationship, you explain who you are, what your intention is, and after you make your own assessment how G4 personnel and staff work in this headquarter, you come up with some suggestion to hold some meetings on G4 issues. It's a very good suggestion. So you have to attend yourself to see if they have still today some meetings, what they're talking about during this meeting.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I'll do my very best, and in about a month or two, I'll come back and give you some feedbacks. And if I need some advice, I've heard that you were in the logistic field.
Well, I appreciate very much when my staff coming to me with their issue, because I think there are some sensitive point of decision when you don't know where to go or focus your real business or real support. And I always would like, if you come to me, just come to my office and we will talk about and we will find solution. It's not problem. Anytime, if I don't have any meeting, anytime just come and we will solve this or find way, at least which direction it's more appropriate for College Force and for ANA.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate to see you, and so nice to have you here. I hope you will enjoy your tour.
Thank you.
Here.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Good day, Sergeant Ryan. I'm here from Hanatech, and we're actually looking for your convoy cell, and I would like to have a little introduction.
I'm from the 4th Battalion, the Parachute Regiment, based in London, England, and I'm responsible for a lot of the movements throughout the Kabul area of operations, based from Camp Julian, which is in the southwestern area of Kabul.
Good. And I'd like to know, what's the generic current threat out there today?
We have a number of generic threats in Kabul when we're travelling around. One of them is suicide vehicle-borne IEDs. We have vehicle-borne IEDs and remote control IEDs. But we've also subsequently found lately that we're exposed to magnetic IEDs as well.
And me as a passenger, what are you expecting me to be looking for those threats in the vehicle?
It's a very good question. A number of things you can do as a passenger, and we like to keep our passengers informed because they can help us and help the convoy be as safe as possible. So what you can do is be very vigilant. So when you get into a vehicle, ask the commander if there are any local threats. You would have already had an intelligence brief anyway on the route to identify any, but the commander may have recently driven through that area and is tuned into the atmospherics. So be vigilant, and if the vehicle has a camera system, then utilise that, because it gives you good situational awareness, a 360-degree picture of what's going on outside that vehicle. And then if you spot something, you can bring it to the attention of the vehicle commander. So vigilance is very key. Also, part of that would be making sure that you've got all your protective equipment on.
And as a passenger, for my personal protection, what should I be aware of?
So you'd wear your helmet, your goggles, your weapon would be loaded but not ready and stacked away, and you'd have your body armour on. So if we had to extract for any reason, you'd be ready to do so, and that's one of the reasons why you have to wear all of your protective equipment.
And I know Kabul is a big city. What kind of road do they have here? What kind of surface?
Yeah, it's a very good question, because you do have a mix of roads here in Kabul area of operations. You do have tarmac roads which take you on some of the main routes into Kabul and around the green zone of Kabul. And some of these tarmac roads have got a honeycomb layer beneath them to stop insurgents planting IEDs. Other types of road include muddy or rocky roads, which do get very muddy when we have torrential downpours, to the point where the water can quite easily reach the axle height of a vehicle.
So I know you guys are keeping us safe on the road and everything, but what makes a team, the convoy team, better than other convoy team?
That's a very good question. One is the preparation and planning that goes into preparing for a convoy. We achieve this by very good intelligence and giving the passengers a very good intelligence brief before we commence a convoy. And the second one is we practice a lot of our drills. So extraction drills in a contact, whether it's small arms or IED, and transferring to another vehicle, breakdown of a vehicle and how to recover that vehicle. We practice all these kinds of drills, and we also give passengers an induction on these drills so that they know what they can expect should the worst happen.
Well, Sergeant Ryan, there's no doubt in my mind your team is very professional, and thanks for making us safe for traveling.
Thank you very much. You're very welcome.
Hello, my name is Major Chris Durant. I'm a Canadian military engineer. My home unit is 4 Engineer Support Regiment in CFB Gagetown, or Moncton, New Brunswick.
Hello, I'm Captain Gareth Hughes from the British Army. Originally an infantry officer, my unit back in the UK is the 1st Battalion, the Royal Welsh Fusiliers.
I'm Captain Sauget Damien. I'm from France. In France, I'm working as the deputy of the 1st Transportation Company of the 515 Battalion.
Hello, my name is Jessica Gruber-Kofod, and I'm a First Lieutenant in the United States Air Force. I'm stationed at Andrews Air Force Base in Washington, D.C., and I do manpower integration there.
I'm employed here in Camp Julian as the Chief of Infrastructure for the Anatech TAG headquarters. My job actually has 2 streams, one in supporting the coalition forces in the coordination and management of the ANA training facilities, the actual builds of the schools, as well as supporting my Afghan counterpart in advising and mentoring him as to how to take on this role as the coalition forces leave.
My role here is the battle captain at Anatech TAG. My responsibilities shift from personnel and manning to operations, the planning and execution of moves across the Kabul AO to support Anatech TAG personnel, and in addition to that, daily, weekly and monthly reports and returns to comment on the improvement and the progression of the Afghan National Army.
I'm here as the French liaison officer for the Armored Brand School in Anatech TAG. I'm working with a British captain who is a desk officer of this school, and we deal with training plan, logistical plan and infrastructure issues about this school.
Here in Kabul, I'm the S1 officer for the Anatech TAG, which is the Afghanistan National Army Training Education Command Training Advisory Group. So we are the headquarters that works with the command headquarters to coordinate all of the training actions for the Afghanistan National Army. As the S1, I process awards and decorations for all of the coalition forces throughout the command, and I do about 250 every 2 months, so it's pretty high tempo.
What I found positive so far while being here is actually with what I do, I actually get to see literally the concrete progress of the work we put towards rebuilding Afghanistan. We get to see local workers coming out and building infrastructure for the Afghans, putting money into the system, and providing an opportunity for the ANA soldiers to have a better life, to work in these new buildings, to work with better infrastructure, and to develop their own infrastructure. I've also found it very encouraging that my Afghan counterpart is eager to take over my position. He asks a lot of pointed questions, he understands what I'm doing, and he's eager to take over his part to continue on the progress here.
This is my 4th tour in Afghanistan. Of the 4, This is certainly the most comfortable and probably one where I've been pushed my hardest. As an infantry officer, the tactical groundwork should be second nature. The environment I work in as a multinational headquarters, working with the ANA, advising them and trying to get them to improve, has certainly imposed its challenges. Having said that, the 3.5 months I've been here, I've seen a significant improvement in their willingness to take ownership of the tasks and responsibilities themselves. I think now they understand that we're here to try and set them up on their own 2 feet.
So what I really enjoy here in this multinational headquarters is to speak French with some Canadians, to enjoy some games with the multinationals guys working with us, practice sport, and to share our experiences.
So far, the only thing that shook me up a little was on the 5th of July at approximately 10:15, right at that foot of those mountains. There's a 100-meter range. It's a porous area, but that's where the ANA are training. And what happened is we were getting some instruction prior to do our shooting, and there was a loud explosion on the right side, around 20 to 30 meters, just nearby us. And what happened is we had to go down and geared up and get into those vehicles and get out the X as soon as we can. Fortunately, nobody was injured on that. It was a lesson, tell you that when it comes that close. And after investigation, they found out that it was the actual RCRD wired with a telephone and some mortar shell and artillery that did not explode. So that was a good lesson learned, and we had some talk together. That's the good thing to do, is to talk within each other when a situation like that happened, and we're over that right now, and it's business as usual, and we're kind of happy, and now we're looking for the end of our mission. Basically, the reason why I want to have this big seminar, and was for everyone to know Colonel Bay Mohammed, so they're not scared about him anymore.
خب تشکر شما تشریف آوردید و دوستان مطلب اساسی سمینار ما مطلبی که در رابطه با محمد با ایشان آشنا شوید و اینکه با یا ارتباط داشته باشید.
The reason is because a coalition force used to help you guys out, and they used to call me, and they used to do the telephone to Bay Mohammed. Well, right now, I would like you guys to actually be able to phone them and tell about your issue.
خب بعد از این من خواستار از هستم که شما با نگران صاحب محمد می‌دونید که کمانوی تربیت ارتباط داشته باشید. در هستم ما شما را همکاری میکنیم و از شما خواهش میکنیم که ارتباط خودتان با نگران صاحب محمد که ارتباط کنید.
As coalition force, we'll guide you, help you out, but you will have to start finding solution and helping and talking to each other. Very important.
خب ما شما را کمک میکنیم، یعنی البته که در هر مکاتب مسلکی و مراکز تعلیمی البته که مشاور وجود داره، ما با یکدیگر ارتباط میگیریم و شما را کمک میکنیم. و نکته اساسی است که خود شما که مدیر صاحب لوجستیک با امام خان ارتباط بگیرید و مشکلات خود از این طریق حل کنید.
I thank you very much for every one of you for coming over here and making this happening.
تشکر از تک تک شما که اینجا بخاطر دعوت ما رو پذیرفتین، به سمینار اشتراک کردین. تشکر بسیار زیاد است.
For the people that set up the whole thing.
تشکر از کلگی و شما همچنین.
The generals for coming over here.
خصوصا از جنرال صاحب سلطانی و سرمفتش صاحب و از همه تشکر.
And most of all for Colonel Ben Mohammed for having 2 days teaching, and I wouldn't do that, but thank you very much, sir.
تشکر خاصی از جنرال صاحب محمد که سمینار 2 روزه را پیش بردن و تانستن که مشکلات شما را حل کنن و با شما چیزی ارائه کنن.
تشکر از خود. همون باید بذار.
All right, this is almost the end of the tour right now, and we've received our medal a couple of days ago. right now what we've done a lot of work. I'm very satisfied with what I've done with my counterpart. The work is going progressively forward. That means we're stepping back into the mentoring. We don't need to engage them as much, and what we used to give them at the beginning as a template or a way to work, they've took whatever was good for them and they're able to initiate it and move forward with it. So we feel that they're being responsible about it, they're proactive, and most of all, they're very reactive Army, because that's in their nature to be able to pick up the ball and move forward. That's about the job. The other part of the job here is important to keep healthy and keeping yourself busy, because you still have to spend the night, and one good way to do that is either watching a movie, talking to each other, or maybe playing cards. My case was actually about promoting a different project on the base. I'm a construction engineer by trade, and for me it was important to be able to build an example, the Canada House deck that we built in conjunction with the chapel just beside it. I've invited 3 tradesmen of my trade to be able to come down and to construct those facilities that was important for us to be able to gather together. And it took a week to do it, and it was very great job, well done. Very happy about it. Everybody enjoyed it every day. The second job that was very important for me was to have a special area allocated for fitness, and I was able to engage a civilian company that donated some funds in order to be able to produce this CrossFit cement slab. I had 10 local national that helped me out doing this job. I was the lead engineer in that, and right now this lab is usually used every day. Everybody's satisfied about it, and I'm very happy about that. Next project that I've been engaging was about the volleyball court. This is something very important since the coalition is actually downsizing. An example, the Canadian War went from 40 personnel down to 7, and right now we rely very much on the coalition. So it's very important for us to have a group cohesion, and one way to do that is in sport like volleyball. So that volleyball court is going to be up and running in a week from now, and creates a recreational activity which is good for the wellness and fitness of the people. And also the most important thing is we're continuing to doing mentoring, advising, to ensure that all of those sacrifices from our fallen comrades are not in vain. And I'm very happy to have done this mission, which is very important to me.